Okay, we are live. All right. Hi, everybody. Nicole here with the Gadget Repair Expo, the GRE team, and three amazing guests. I'm so excited for these calls, and I'm more excited for the expo. So I'm going to first just go around the room and let everybody talk about themselves, starting with our three guests on the call. I'll start with Tony right below me. Just say a little bit about, who you are and your company, and then we'll move over to Javi. And Javi, I know we're on your channel, so if you want to say hi really quick, I know you've got some watchers on there.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, everybody? I'll start with myself. Thank you guys for joining, and thanks you guys for supporting my YouTube channel. If you guys don't know who I am Javi with Mr. Phone Doctor. We specialize in refurbishing, training, and equipment. So for all things refurb related, feel free to reach out to me. And I look forward to doing some really cool unboxing videos. I got some really nice state-of-the-art equipment in, and I'll be unboxing those and reviewing those soon for you guys.
Ooh, I love those kind of videos. Okay, Tony, tell us about My Repair app.
Yeah, hey, what's up, everybody? Tony. Yeah, so I own My Repair app. But before this, I actually had and still have several stores. I've been in the industry for about 7 years. And so My Repair app is the latest and greatest point of sale system, but built by owners. And so we have a unique understanding of what shops need. And so we put a ton of effort and focus on things that are most important for shops, such as inventory tracking, serialization, metrics. We track over 50 KPIs, things like that. We're also trying to be very, very cost effective as well. So happy to be here.
Awesome. Dustin, our first competition micro soldering winner.
Hello, I'm Dustin. A lot of you guys already know me. I do micro soldering, B2B, data recovery, that type of thing. I also know to dress up and address and go to the expo. So,
Dustina, it's a long story. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go. Let's start with Brian, and then we'll go to Tony. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Brian Ahern. I'm a co-founder of Repairers First Association and Gadget Repair Expo. My other partners, unfortunately, except for Nicole, she's also on the GRE, as well as Tony Baker and Ahmed. So thank you for attending here. But if you haven't heard about the RFA, go to repairsfirst.org. Take a look at the website. We currently are now about 1,100 locations across the U.S. and Canada, and our members receive anywhere from 3 to a 15% discount on parts and accessories from the vendors you're probably already buying from right now. So check us out, and if you'd like to have a discovery call, just click that link.
All right, great. Okay, Tony.
Tony. Hey, how's it going? This is Tony Baker. I am the founder and co-owner of GSM Warehouse. We are a pre-owned certified device wholesaler that is located in Florida. Been around in the industry for over 15 years. Been wholesaling for over 12 years. We supply over 9,000 cell phone repair shops in the U.S. and outside with unlocked iPhones, iPads, Samsung, and Apple Watches. Of course, been on the Gadget Repair Expo since day one. It's a good place to be. It's a good place to meet a lot of new people. Highly recommend. And this year it's in Miami, so make sure you tune in.
Driving distance for you, Tony, right? I know you're happy about that.
Hey, Tony, I apologize. Your introduction wasn't correct. Your name is the Fabulous.
Right.
Fabulous. I'll wait a minute until I start seeing my muscles. I'm hitting the gym like Ahmed right now.
Really? Oh my gosh! And you do way more than just GSM Warehouse. That's really going to be the live when we talk about all the things that you do. So, all right, Ahmed down in the bottom in his vehicle.
Yes, I'm driving, so I apologize if I'm going to try to keep it quick. My name is Ahmed Abu Sharbain. I am the founder and the CEO of Unlimited Prepaid Distribution. The previous CEO at Uplux sold the company. I started a filming company right now, the videoschool.com. I'm teaching people how to make videos, how to brand, how to grow, and how to market. And I'm here to help you guys. And thank you so much for having me on the call.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to go back around to our guests and we'll start with Javi. So Javi, you've been at every Gadget Repair Expo. So there's two things that I want to ask you is what is something that you really love about the expo and that you look forward to, especially with it, we go to a different city every time, I'm sure that's exciting. Probably meet new people. And then two, do you have any advice for someone that owns a shop, maybe something that they should be looking forward to in repair, especially you in refurb? What are, do you have any tips or anything that shops should be looking forward to as far as repair?
Yeah, of course. To answer your first question, one of the best things that I end up getting out of the gadget repair every time we attend is just the like-minded individuals that you run into. You learn a lot from these individuals. You see where their struggles are, and you can basically learn a lot just by meeting and networking with your peers. So, a must event for anyone in the repair industry to go to every year. That way you can see what's up and coming, what other repair shops are utilizing in their store day to day, what they're doing to, increase revenues as far as revenue streams, So a must show for everybody. And since we do specialize in refurbishing, we do get a lot of individuals that are hesitant and they don't know where to start. So, whether it be myself or another refurbishing master, I highly recommend you just get with someone who you trust and who you get along with, so that way they can guide you on your journey. And of course, eliminate all those steps to get you to where you need to, so you can become profitable. So it's just like in anything in life, you got to have a good mentor. And there's a lot of people out there that you can basically meet and run into and become good friends with. So a must show to go to, and refurb is definitely the way nowadays. So.
Yeah. Do you see that with the newer phones, it's going to be like mandatory eventually that you're going to have to be doing refurb, or what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, totally. It's an ongoing issue with Apple and all their serialization going on. So you do want to do your best to make sure that you're keeping all the original parts on their devices, And now it's also going into non-refurbishing type things like the batteries, the cameras, So that's when you do need to pick up another skill, like how Dustin, I'm sure he sees a lot of it, where he's doing battery board replacements or keeping those to basically keep the battery health. So lots of different things, but you have to just learn it all, learn one thing, learn the next, and teach someone in your store how to do it. They're not going to be as great as you are at first, but you just got to have the patience to just teach them what you can. And in time, things will flourish and blossom.
Right. Does anybody else want to add anything towards about refurb? Have any opinions, experience on refurb? I feel like we've got the master on here, Javier, but
I'm not a refurbished guy, but I'm gonna tell you one thing about Javier. Javier, great job with your videos, man. I'm watching you. I mean, you simplify things. You really help. You give the support, and that's all about Javier over here. Anybody watching this should follow Javier and learn from this guy.
I want to add basically, if you guys remember back in 2000, was it 14 or 15, Javier, when the shortage of the 5S and 5Cs happened on the screen. And then, of course, for those who don't know, I own 14 cell phone repair shops. And at that time, I may have had about 8 locations. When the shortage happened with the 5Ss and the 5Cs, we were stores that never threw our old screens away or even sold them. I remember that we were able to refurbish over $30,000 worth of screens within probably the first 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks of the shortage. 5S and 5Cs are pretty much were one of the best screens that were ever repaired. And I remember, if correct me if anyone remembers, the screen used to sell for between $13 to $16, and when the shortage happened, they went up to $65.
Yes. I remember that.
Yeah, that was huge. So I think there's going to be a few factors that may change the game right now. One is the components and the issues with the iPhones and the messages. Two, for some people who don't know about the strike, the port strike. And I think, well, you're going to have some shortage in screens, and refurbishing probably going to spike back up. So I would assume to look into it.
Yeah.
Tony, it's gonna affect everything, not only the parts, everything. The cars,
100%.
the clothes.
Mhm.
They couldn't do it any worse time, but it is what it is. It's a factor that you're dealing with. I like that. Good thing that everybody should be stocking up on equipment.
I unfortunately, based on what I've seen in the past 2 days, almost I would say 30 to 40% of Americans don't even know anything about the strike. I posted it on my social media. It's got 11 attractions, and I have 8,500 followers on my Facebook. And I don't want people to see it.
Look at the map, all the way from Maine, half a circle, all the way to Texas. Nothing coming in, nothing going out.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, I'm getting scared now. No, okay, I want to say something really quick before we go to Tony. If you are watching and you have a GRE ticket already, please reach out to me. I am wanting to invite at least 1 or 2 ticket holders on some of the lives to talk about why you're going. So please reach out to me. I didn't get to introduce myself. Nicole Russell. I own Cellbotics, which is a training center. We have in-person training for repair, online training. We also teach how to open a repair business if you're not in the industry yet. And then also I'm part of the founding team of GRE. And then I was brought on RFA a few years ago. So if you have any questions about any of that stuff or anything training or anything industry, or you just want to be connected to someone, which a lot of people reach out to me for, please feel free to do that. I love connecting people. But if you already have your Gadget Repair Expo ticket, please reach out to me on Facebook. You can just email Nicole at gadgetrepairexpo.com. And I want to invite you here right on this live to talk about why you're going. And I know there's quite a few of you. So I've actually reached out to some directly that I knew. So check your Facebook messages. If you bought a ticket already, you might have a message from me in your inbox. Okay, Tony, go ahead and tell us a little bit about My Repair app and then why you feel like the expo has, is important to you, and then any tip you want to give to the industry as far as, your niche.
Yeah, definitely. I'll actually start with the expo. So I've been attending since the Atlanta one at the Chick-fil-A stadium. That was fun. I think I found out about the expo like the week of, and I was like, all right, let's go. And it's a game changer. Even if you've been in the industry for 10 plus years, even if you have multiple locations, you can always learn. That's the one thing that I think that can jack people up a little bit, is you get a little bit of egotistical, and maybe you're an expert at what you do and you're like, I don't need people. Relationships go really far. And even if you don't learn anything new, the people you meet can change your life. I can say a large chunk of the successes that we've had in our locations is due to the expo. You can learn, you can meet new vendors, but also you can just, like Javier said, you can meet like-minded people who are maybe in similar situations as you, or maybe they're at the next level, right? You're going to meet someone who's where you want to be, and you can pick their brain. There's never a better time to be in an area where you're surrounded with hundreds and hundreds of people who are like you, who are spending time and money to invest in themselves, to better themselves. 100%. And so that kind of goes into My Repair app. That's kind of why we created My Repair app. In my stores, we've, over the years, we've pretty much tried all the point of sale systems out there, weren't satisfied. And then for a bit there, we did some consulting work with some stores, and I kind of realized it wasn't, no matter how much I taught, no matter how much we trained to do things our way, it came down to the systems, where if it wasn't replicatable through systems, then that was really ultimately the issue. People weren't able to track their numbers. And so we kind of specialize in tracking your metrics, tracking everything from individual employee performance, store performance, from inventory usage to accessory attachment rates, just everything you need to know about your numbers. We track that, I would say, better than anybody, but also just user friendliness. The UI is really friendly. So like co-founder and I, Jason, we've been in industry collectively between the both of us, I think 17, 18 years, and we both own stores, and we understand what stores need. And so that's also why we know when we first started, we were both dirt poor. When I started, I had no money. I literally borrowed a couple $1,000s to open my first store. And so I have a soft spot for people who are just starting or who are maybe struggling. So that's why actually we have a robust version that's even free. So if you're a solo operator, it doesn't cost you anything. You get integrated parts ordering with Mobile Centrics, Injured Gadgets, wholesale gadget parts, Phono City parts. You get integration with Akko. You get all these things, and it's free. you don't have to pay anything to use the point of sale.
I love
So if you're going to be at the expo, hit me up, or even now, send me a message. We're happy to talk to you and see how we can help you.
I love it. You mentioned something, and I just want to touch on this, and everybody else can as well. You mentioned that you can meet someone that's, you know, maybe doing better than you, and you want to get where they are, right? And you know, Jeremy's not on the call, but Jeremy Kwiatkowski, who, you know, started and was the founder of CPR Cell Phone Repair, which is still one of the largest brands, right? I mean, he's one of the founders of the Gadget Repair Expo, and he's walking around there. So if you're a multi-unit owner and you're really trying to scale, Jeremy does consulting and works individually with people, but you can just walk up to him at the expo and just like, Jeremy, can I ask you some questions? And he's literally the easiest person to talk to. And of course, you got Brian and Brad Broom, which also worked with him too, you know, on CPR. So I like that point that you brought up, because sometimes I feel like shop owners can be afraid to walk up to someone who in their mind they think is doing so much better than them that they don't have a foot to stand on to ask questions. But at the expo, just walk up. Can I talk to you? You know?
Yeah, and even beyond that, I would say, you know, for us, what we do, like we actually, so we have a private Facebook group, My Repair App users, and we do weekly calls on Tuesdays where we do trainings, but also like a roundtable type thing. For instance, yesterday we talked about how to use our quote system to make you more money. Where basically it's just best practices on how to deal with inbound leads, how to deal with inbound phone calls. Because my background before this, I actually worked at a call center, and then I also did sales at a car dealership. So I've been in sales for quite some time in various sales positions, and so I just help. I'm an open book.
That's great.
And I think that's the best way to do this with this industry. Just be an open book, and yeah, like you said, don't be afraid to reach out to people, because everyone that's on this panel and all the vendors, I would say, are probably open books and willing to help.
Yeah, that's what we do at RFA. We do masterminds, and I love them when we get all the shop owners on and we start talking and sharing information. It's just absolutely great. Anybody else want to touch on that before I go to Dustin, or anything Tony said?
Let me throw something there to complement something that Tony had said. You know, coming there to, you know, you're always going to learn something if you come there with an open mind. I mean, I've been in the industry now for almost 20 years. I mean, almost as long, a few years less than Jeremy. You know, and I've had, I mean, as far as a VP with a big franchise to having 9 locations to now, you know, the CEO of RFA, which is the largest non-franchise in the industry. And even though I'm putting on these expos, I go there and I learn something every single year. I've learned from Javier. I've learned from you, Tony Baker. I've learned from you, Dustin, Ahmed. I love sitting in on Ahmed's sales presentation when I can. And so even if an old dog like me can go there and learn something and bring it back, and then when I'm talking to my members, hey, have you heard of Tony Baker? Or Tony, have you heard of Tony Baker? This is what they're doing, and wow, it really works. Try this in your shop. And so coming there, don't just look at it as, oh, I know everything that I'm doing. I mean, maybe you do, but I've always had a philosophy that if I'm the smartest guy in the room when I walk in, then I'm in the wrong room. So you know, it's cheap to come. It's $100. I mean, the cocktail party and the hors d'oeuvres, well, $99. The cocktail party and the hors d'oeuvres alone, you're going to make that money back from what it cost us for that. You know, you're going to learn something if you're coming there to learn, and the relationships. Okay, I'll go to Ahmed, I go to Javier, I go to Tony. I mean, Dustin, Tony Baker. I mean, all of these relationships that we've met and we have formed over these years came from an expo. So,
yeah,
you know?
And don't forget the competitions. If you're a technician,
oh,
and you want bragging rights, come to the
competitions.
Will be up soon. It's not up right now, but soon, within the next week.
Dustin's going to be up next, and I'm going to let him know there is a guy from Pakistan who is coming over to the GRE specifically to compete in the micro soldering championship.
I love it.
Woo!
Good luck taking that title away from the 2-year winner, though.
I'm telling you, man, so 2 years. He's been the second year.
Yeah, I spoke with a guy yesterday in South Africa. He's wanting to come as well, and he wants to compete in the micro soldering championship. So this micro soldering championship is becoming not just, I mean, it's becoming very, very popular. And I'm just saying we're getting worldwide attention from this. So,
all right.
yeah.
Anything else before we go to Dustin, Tony, Ahmed? Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, let me speak because I'm not gonna be on the call for. I apologize. I'm on the road, but I'm gonna do my best. Let me give you a little piece of information. Remember the two young kids that I got them on stage and they were mobile this year. When was our show in April, right?
April. Yeah.
April. Mhm.
April. They opened their store. Finally, they opened their store in August, end of August. As of today, they're profitable. They're doing repairs. They're doing a lot of accessories. And he sent me a video yesterday telling me I did my first activation on prepaid. He said,
Yay.
we're growing, we're adding. These guys are humble, very positive. They said that expo, what got them going, they gave them a little kick. So you need to be around successful, motivated people, great ideas, real ideas happening on the in real time. So anything launched, there is new technology coming. You can always read. You can look at YouTube and online and Facebook and everything, but there is nothing like face to face learning from successful monsters like you guys. You are the best. You build this industry, and anybody when I want to learn, you gotta be in this expo. You have to. You gotta pay money. Go borrow money and come to the expo because you're gonna make your money back.
I love that.
I'm telling
All
you.
right. Thank you, Ahmed. Okay. Dustin, let's go ahead and hear about you. I also want you to mention your news because I love the news. When I see your videos come up, I feel like I'm the first watcher, but I'm sure somebody else will fight me on that. Talk about what you do.
Well, I was going to talk about the expo first, but it sounds like, I mean, I don't want to sound like you gave us a script before we got on here because I'm going to repeat exactly what the other guy said, which is it's all about the relationships. It's the expo is nice, you go there, you see the vendors and stuff like that, but it's really about the connections that you make when you get there and the people that you meet. I do business with a lot of these guys that are there, but it's different to actually meet them. They get to joke around and see how each other respond and stuff like that. I mean, it's just you learn so much. It's such a great time. I mean, I don't think I've ever been at the expo the second day without a hangover. It's so much fun. Brian's wife actually has like Advil for me on tap when I get there. She knows what's up. On basically what I do, responding to what Nicole said, is just mainly data recovery, repair on micro soldering level. I do the news on the side, which is if you're a part of the CPRST group, there's a bunch of drama in there and a bunch of people up to no good. So I'm just kind of somebody that calls them out, and I like to do funny characters. So I'm thinking about, making a poll to see which character people want to come to the expo this year, because I don't think I will be attending. But I think somebody that looks similar to me might be. So I don't know. What's
I like the country guy. That was hilarious.
It needs to be Billy Ray. Billy Ray.
This is
Billy Ray.
up on your screen up on your screen is a gentleman coming from West Africa. I said South Africa. I was wrong. I apologize, God's will. My apologies for saying the wrong part of the country. But yeah, he's the one coming from Ghana.
Well, I don't know if I'm 100% going to be a part of the micro soldering competition this year, but if I am, I definitely want it to be something.
You'll be a judge.
Yeah, that's what Bradley and I were talking about. But if I am, it's definitely something that I want to do more simple, like maybe the PS5 repair. We get a bunch of ones that need HDMIs. And then because that's it's something that I hear almost every day in CPRST. It's just like, I want to do the micro soldering competition, but it should be something super simple that not only displays how fast you can solder and if it works, but how fast you can take apart a device and etc. So I think it'll be a lot of fun this year, especially if I'm involved. I think it'd definitely be something to fly out for sure. It always is. It's always a lot of fun when we do it.
Awesome. Okay. I can't wait. I'm excited to have you back as a judge again. But we always have fun. You're a great announcer too.
Guys, I'm going to drop. I am here in the field, but thank you so much for having me. I didn't want to just not show up. I had to show up at least for 10, 15 minutes. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, everybody.
Ahmed, call me.
Yes.
Call me.
Tell me. I will. We'll
talk.
Tell me now.
All right. All right.
Okay, guys, thank you for that. So let's get back to, talking about the industry. Is there any news? Tony, you're in the thick of it with the devices and your stores. Anything going on that shops should know about? Any tips that we can give? Let's just have an open discussion for the shop owners that are watching.
Let me throw something out there. I've said on a couple of Facebook posts, Tony, if I could just have it, and you're probably going to dovetail on what I'm going to start with, if I'm reading your mind right. So I see in the groups on a regular basis, where's the industry going? Where's the industry going? And I obviously I'm a more of a, the glass is always half full kind of a person versus the glass is half empty, because I'm in sales. I'm going to teach you the benefits of ice. Okay. We're going to make that glass full again. But I came across an article, and it was put out by Allstate. And they were rating the industry from 2022 or 2020 to 2021 to 2023, and just through them the industry grew over $4.5 billion. It was like a $4.5 billion industry a couple of years ago. It's almost doubled in size to an $8 billion industry. And so we've proven during COVID that this industry is recession proof. What we have to get better at for all of us to grow our stores is get out in your community and let your customers know that you not have to replace their device. It can be repaired in most cases for a couple of $100 or less, depending on what device it is. It's almost just like going back to the transmission rebuilding industry. It's a $5,000 car, but a $3,000 to rebuild the transmission. It's always going to be cheaper to keep her, metaphorically speaking. I know I got a lady on the phone, so don't take it that way. But in any event, the industry is as strong as we want it to be. Now, if you're not out there and being a part of the community and asking every single customer to refer you to their friends and family, it probably is slow out there right now, but I know of more shops that are banging it out right now than shops that are slow. So that's my take on it. And I talk to about 60 different shop owners a week. And that's kind of my take that I've gathered in the last 10 months.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. So let's see what Tony has to say too.
So I want to touch on what Dustin had said earlier about the show, to be honest with you. It really is. Every single time you go, you meet new people. And what also Tony said is you meet a lot of people that are either one step ahead of you or one step behind you at what you're doing. So it speeds up the process of what you're doing. It could speed it up in my point of view 5 years ahead of time. So you would meet a lot of people that either started with one location, moved up to 5, or started with 5 locations, moved back to 1. The conversations that you'll have at the expo could either pretty much saves you from a bankruptcy because you'll navigate your plans the proper way, learning from other people's mistakes or even learning from other people's success stories. A lot of these stories I've personally taken in from a lot of people I met at the show. I think one of the biggest stories or moves that I've done since I would say 2022, since we had the first expo in Atlanta. And I remember we arrived about a day before because we drove up there. We met a lot of people out at the bar, and we've negotiated. We've talked about, what things have they done differently. And I've realized a lot of people have stretched too thin to the point where they ended up losing some of their stores or not making money. So the turning point for us was at that point. It was right before COVID and right after COVID, and that was a starting point for us where we ended up moving very aggressively with franchising. At that point, for those who don't know, we had 14 cell phone repair shops, and we've ended up starting franchising some of these locations to owners operators. I think that the move that we've made at that point was one of the best, smartest move that we've done in the past 12 years in our experience in retail, because we probably avoided bankruptcy. We've probably avoided losing or closing down some of these stores. And today is 2024, and we still have 14 locations, and my stores are stronger than ever, profitable, and sales. My average franchise location does $60,000 in revenue a month plus. That's the regular. That's probably the lowest one out, and they go up to $95,000 a month in revenue. And you know, happy for them. We've helped some of our ex-employees to become store owners. So
That's great.
It helps to share your knowledge and your wealth with other people to see them successful.
Tony, if somebody's listening right now and they're looking to franchise, maybe they have a shop and they're just like, I don't want to do this alone anymore. I hear that from a lot of individual business owners. They're just like, I don't want to do this alone. I want to have somebody I can come to and really feel like their interest is in my business. They can reach out to you to find out more about that?
You can go to selfixstores.com and just click on the franchise link and fill up your information, and somebody will be in contact with you. Touching on that point, Nicole, that is the number one reason why a lot of people end up losing interest in the industry. They get bored.
Yeah.
They don't have. Yeah, they get burned out. They end up, you know, burning themselves out, enjoying the money. It's a lot of money. It's good money in this industry. So a lot of us just, you know, end up getting hangover, you know, the following day.
They're getting bored. They need to pick up micro soldering, because that stuff will keep freaking challenged every day.
And refurb and micro soldering. I don't know shops.
Just different services.
They will say over and over, my store doesn't do good, or I'm not doing this, and I'm like, why are you not expanding on your skill set?
They get comfortable. They get
comfortable, and then they cry.
You get bored, then you get burned out. I mean, it's something that so many people go through, and it's like I've got a buddy of mine. I'm not going to say his name, but I mean, he goes on vacation 5 times a year because that's to stop him from getting burned out. You know what I mean? So it's you definitely have to do stuff like that, and that's what the expo is for me. Honestly, it's a vacation, and a working vacation, obviously, and that's how I justify it. Is just I'm going out there to have a good time. And that's what I do. Like last year, I wasn't even a part of the micro soldering competition, but I got myself up when they're on stage and just started having a good time. And that's what a lot of people do there. So it's fun to match the people that you talk to almost every day online to the faces.
Yeah, and a lot of people who have tickets and come to the expo, they bring their family. Either their family come with them, or they stay at the hotel. They can go to the beach while you're at the expo. So, and you can write this off. I mean, this is a legitimate business trip. You're going to an expo. I mean, this is if you guys are wondering, if anybody's watching.
Even the gambling, I was like,
well, I don't know about that.
On black right off. What are you?
How did that work out?
Hey, you don't write it off because you're not losing. You're winning.
Also, this year we have something really fun. On day 2, we're going to be doing the best Hawaiian shirt. Is that what they call it, Brian? Is a Hawaiian shirt, or I don't have it right in front of me?
Yeah, I mean, a Hawaiian shirt, beach
Hawaiian shirt.
Surfer dude shirt.
Yeah, wear your best beacher Hawaiian surfer shirt, and we're going to be doing a contest at around 12 o'clock, and the winner is going to walk away with cash.
That's messed up. You're going to have everybody at the expo looking like a tourist. All right. That's real cool. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Miami.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Oh,
so you guys hit the nail on the head, by the way. I wanted to add to that. The nail on the head, absolutely what you guys all said about people struggling in the industry. I've heard this for years on end. Oh, it's slow. What are you doing? How do we get busier? And what we see in the groups is a constant, I need to do marketing. What are you guys doing for marketing? What are you doing for marketing? And yet when you talk to them, they're not doing the fundamentals. They're turning away half the repairs that walk in. I mean, even today, I've had another conversation with an owner. They're like, well, we don't do Apple Watch repair. I'm like, then outsource it. At a minimum, outsource the refurb, right? Like, A, you could learn to refurb, but B, if you don't want to, at least outsource it. Instead, they literally tell customers, no, we can't fix this, buy. And what you're doing is you're telling someone that's walking into your store with $100 bill and you're saying, no, I don't want it. Give it to Joe Schmo down the street. He'll take your money. And now from now on, he's your customer for life. Like, just
I agree with you so much, but I disagree, Tony, at the same time. So just because it's an Apple Watch, and I mean, look, I can fix an Apple Watch. That's not a problem.
I know what you mean.
The problem is the water resistance. I feel like if you tell every customer that walks into your store that comes in for a screen replacement on an Apple Watch, your water resistance, it's already lost. It will never come back, but I can still fix it for $100. I can guarantee you that client is going to walk away because half the reason they have that watch is because of water resistance anyway, right? And
you'd be surprised. That's the crazy part. So
I've done it. I know store for years, man. But we were just honest with the clients, and I'm not saying Javi. I can see you shaking your head, no, but it's the water resistance.
So the way we do it, my script for my guys is we tell people. So originally, when you bought your watch, it was waterproof. When you broke it, it lost all water resistance. There's no water resistance. When we replace the glass, it will have some level of resistance. But we tell them, we don't recommend, like, honestly, take the watch off when you're washing your hands, so on and so forth. Just be careful. Knowing that, do you want to do this, or do you want to spend an extra $100 and buy this one from me? At a minimum, right? Have an option for your customers. Don't just be like, no, we don't do the repair. Buy.
Exactly.
Offer it. Yeah, be honest. And also have a watch to sell them in place of it. Buy theirs back. Give them a $10 credit. Flip it on the groups. Make money. But people are just, most owners are lazy. They want to do a screen swap of an iPhone, and that's
Tony. I'll say this: look at it from a different perspective, Dustin. If the customer comes into your store and you don't tell them about it, you're going to have a problem. That's one. Number two, if you do tell them about it, based on what Dustin said, you're going to lose that customer. But what if you tell him about it and he walks out of your store? The first question he's going to have for your competitor: am I going to lose my water resistance? So now your competitor is not going to lie to your customer and earn your business. Your customers walk out of your store educated that you're an honest person.
Exactly.
So in my opinion, you earn the customer both ways, whether he walks out of your store or whether he does the repair in your store.
100%. And honestly, 100%. And it's something where if you don't tell them, like you said, you're going to have a problem because they are going to go swimming with it. They're going to do what they do every day with their watch. And then
and those people that does it, they're never going to last in business. And maybe your competitor will not tell them, but by you educating your customer and letting them know that you are going to lose your water resistant on it, and he's going to say, oh, no, I guess not. I'm going to walk out. Option two, you can do what Tony just said and upgrade him to a whole new watch. Option three, he walks out of your store, and he's walking out of your store, and in my opinion, with a good idea about your business. And that's the least you could do for a walking out customer. Walking out customers, if you can't help them, you can't help them. But leaving them with a good impression of your business it says a lot.
I think, Go ahead. Not you.
Go ahead, Dustin.
I mean, I was just gonna say, if you, it's not turning away money really, but if the customer sees that you're more interested in their well-being and then their device and how they're gonna continue with their device, that I feel like that customer will always come back to you because they know that hey, they're an honest company. They didn't really lose money, but they didn't make money just so I would know what was going on.
You know,
I want to hear from the people watching. Please chime in. I don't mean to cut you off, Tony. Please chime in. If you're watching, what do you do at your store? You can comment, ask questions. Okay, go ahead.
I got a one-on-one conversation yesterday. True story. So one of my franchisees comes into my warehouse to pick up some phones. And him and I are talking. He franchised about a year and a half ago. His location is doing $60,000, $70,000 a month. And he's doing good. So I'm asking him, what do you do for marketing? He goes, Tony, I don't need to do marketing. I said, why? He goes, I'm having the same customers. You know, we're doing good. We've been consistent with $60,000 to $70,000 a month. I said, your problem is by you not doing any marketing. He literally does not even post on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. So it's a community area, and the franchisee is Cuban, and that area that he is in, there's a lot of Cubans and Colombians. So by building a relationship, all the customers are, telling their family, and it's kind of like a neighborhood area, So he's like, we're getting the same people, their families and whatnot, and I don't have to do marketing. I said, by you not doing marketing, you are allowing your competition to stay in business. So I said, why don't you look outside the box? And if you're posting an iPhone 8 Plus online for $159, and you mention on that ad that this must be mentioned walking into your store to get that price. Those, if you make $20,000 a month, you're actually getting your competition out of business, and you eventually will not have no competition. So if you're making 60, now you're making 80. If you're making 80, now you're making 100. The best point about this is you don't have no competition anymore. But by you not advertising, you know, the people, there is people that actually go, I'm one of them, that would just click filter cheapest. That's what I do. So there's people that does that. I know. Hey, I did not become rich.
But I would listen to Tony, because this is how this man took over Tampa. You can't drive to Tampa without passing at least 5 of his stores.
I'm like, you got Tampa branded, man. Last time I was there, I was like, I see you everywhere. I like sent you a message. I was like, Tony, what in the world?
You have to be like this. So you have to be very aggressive to eliminate competition. You cannot, now by eliminating competition, you don't have to have a problem with that person, but it's a dog eat dog world out there. And if you're not as aggressive as you should, then you should not be in this business. This business is very competitive. By adding on soldering or refurbishing, you isolate yourself and you become more powerful. And I think, in my opinion, recently, if you share your knowledge and franchise to other locations, you can dominate the area.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only if you learn a new skill, you become dominant, but if you learn a new skill such as refurb or micro soldering, then those competitors become your clients overnight.
Yes, they do.
And then at that point, you're like, hey, you know, I want you to succeed. I want you to do good, because the better that you do, the more money that I'm going to make. So no matter what situation, you're still putting money in your own pocket. And that's exactly what I think. I think, no disrespect, Javier, I think refurb's probably the easier route to learn. I know it's still very, I can't, I'm not saying it's easy by any chance, but I'm just saying it's, once you get been doing it, you can kind of whip them out so quick. Soldering,
it's less technical.
Yeah. I feel like you get more touches with refurb too. Micro soldering, you have to do a lot. I think you need to go the B2B route. Like, you know what I mean? Like with other shops, you'll still get stuff into your own shop. But in my opinion, if you want to touch almost every client, what are you working on most of the time?
And honestly, refurb, you're going to see a lot more business also, because everybody breaks their screen versus not everybody can have a logic board issue, right? So, and I definitely, that's why I would, when I was working at a shop, that was one of the main things that I tried to convince the owners to do was, hey, we should look into either refurbishing or micro soldering, because this is the way the industry is going. And I'm happy to see it now with Apple kind of stepping back a little bit, which is something else I wanted to talk about with the right to repair, because now we can actually take an original OEM screen and put it on a device, and it will say, hey, look, the screen is original, even though it's used, or whatever the case is. I think that's great, because now Apple's actually being honest with the client versus lying to them and saying, hey, we don't know what this part is. This is a piece of, it's some aftermarket part. So it's something where it seems like Apple's taking a step back. And I know there's a lot of people in the groups that are being like, oh, we're going to get screwed by this somehow, one way or the other. Apple's the only out to get us. But I don't think so. I think in the UK and the EU over there, they're really pressing on Apple's neck and saying, you got to uniform or, conform. And I think hopefully that's what they're doing, and that's what we're seeing. So, but yeah, definitely learn that at least refurbing or micro soldering, one of the two. Otherwise, what's to separate you from the guy right across the street or down the street?
Dustin, do you teach micro soldering too, right? If somebody reaches out to you?
I mean,
I've had this conversation with you so many times.
Dustin got some PTSD last time.
I mean, I love teaching. I really do. It's just, it comes down to the time. When I want to do the teaching, I want to put everything into it. I want to put just all of my time into it to give the students everything that they want and need. And it's just something where it's like, I can't really do that and have a full queue and work for all these different companies. So it's very hard for me to set aside, what I'm doing now to put to the training. But it's definitely something that I want to do. It's something that I love doing. I wish I had another one of me. I need somebody to come in and work for me. And I'm one of you guys that said train them. And I think it was you, Javi, where you said, teach them how to do it. And they're not going to be that good. I mean, I take those words to heart, because that's something I need to do. Is bring somebody in and teach them to do what I do, and they can take the easy stuff and then free me.
And then get you to a point to where, all right, you're done with that. Let me pick up where you're at and finish it off. That way you're not doing all the grunt work. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Like having little stages and repairs, and then I go in and finish and help out, or someone else will help out that knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Javi, how's the new location? I know it's been months you've been in there, but how's that going?
It's good. I'm anxious to get out of here.
Are you going back to the old
Yeah, we're
location?
going to go back to our other building. Yeah, it's going to be a full brand new building after the restoration. So we're going to have a really nice YouTube studio. You know, it's going to be big and nice and brand new. So soundproof walls, and it's going to be great.
Oh, that's exciting.
That does sound awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. So it was kind of bittersweet. You know, we had a fire, and then I guess good thing came out of the fire. You know, we're going to get a brand new building. So, you know.
There we go.
Yeah.
How did you cause the fire, Javier?
I know.
Right? Yeah.
Like, what?
That's what they're saying. You still taking apart batteries over there? What the hell? No, it was the crazy lady upstairs. She had a kitchen that was going on in it and cooking, and the grease got out of control, and it just spread, burned the whole top floor. So.
Was anybody in the building in your shop?
We were there. Everybody was in there. It was like a Monday at lunchtime. Like it was actually on the 31st, Halloween day. So it's coming up on a year. So we were all there.
Did you grab expensive equipment and run with it? Because
it's too heavy.
No, we didn't. We just left it, and you know the firefighters went in with water and their extinguishers, and it was just like, whatever. We tried to salvage some stuff. We were able to save some things, and others were just like, whatever, just, you know, it's a loss.
And yeah, that's awful. And did you have client devices that got damaged?
We did. We had quite a bit of client devices. Luckily, we just had a big order. We had a B2B order that we were doing. It was like 150 tablets. Luckily, we shipped them like literally like a couple days before that incident happened. I would have been.
Years, man. It's just natural, especially with this hurricane coming through. It's just like if I get flooded, and it's not even about the devices itself; those can be replaced, right? It's about people's data.
Yeah, it's the data.
I can't imagine making that call and be like, "Look, man, I had a hurricane or whatever it was, and your device is just."
Yeah.
I had a break-in at one of my stores one time, and they took around 40 customer devices. It was terrible. Plus all my training devices.
Same here. Yeah.
Hundreds, right? Oh my gosh.
We end up paying every customer $300 to $400.
Right.
Wow.
$9,000. Yeah.
Wow.
Terrible.
It was bad.
Was that through your insurance that paid that, or you paid it?
Unfortunately for us, in the cell phone business in Florida is considered to be the #1 fraud state in the country, and Tampa is considered to be the #1 fraud city in the country. So I would probably say 9 out of 10 break-ins I don't claim. Yeah. Because I don't want to get dropped.
I was about to say, yeah.
We literally just the day before the hurricane, last Wednesday, we got 2 stores breaking into.
Out of curiosity, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but how much money do you have to be losing before you call your insurance company?
$20,000 minimum.
20? All right.
Yeah. Anything under 10, I don't claim. There's only 1 or 2 companies in the U.S. or in Florida that does commercial insurance. They drop us every 2-3 years for no reason.
I couldn't find insurance, man.
You won't believe why mine wasn't covered. We moved from so there was a shopping center, and it was 2 spaces side by side, and we moved over that weekend. And I was supposed to go next week and re-sign the insurance documents.
The cap on electronics is $25,000 in Florida. So the insurance in Florida caps you for theft at $25,000. They will do flood or fire for whatever, $1 million or $100,000, whatever you choose, but they cap you at $25,000. You have all these people coming out of Miami, robbing everything in their way, and then go back to Miami. So
I think I scared the insurance company I called because I was like, you can't put a price on people's data. I was like, I don't know if we have to go to court. I don't know what you guys will be paying, but it's going to be money. You know what I mean? And everyone I talked to, they're like, yeah, no, we can't cover it. No matter security cameras, alarm system, locks on the doors, doesn't matter.
Electronics is not in Florida. It's not what the last opinion was from somebody. You know what he says? He said, get the fuck out of Florida. Literally, that's what he said. Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been a great call. This is a good segue for me to start the exit. So is there anything else we want to mention before we all jump off? Thank you all for being here. You know, I know we will see you again on another live. We always have a lot of these leading up to the show. If you are watching and you don't have your ticket yet, get your ticket. If you have a ticket, again, please reach out to me. So then I want to invite you on a live. It will be fun. You will enjoy it. You don't have to be nervous. You don't have to have any special camera equipment, but reach out to me. And thank you to all the watchers as well. And anything else you guys want to say before we go?
This is what you learn when you come to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except way more. It's just like
Way
3 in the morning. You're like, oh, time to go to bed, maybe.
Maybe.
Real quick. The first thing is the movie The Notebook is my guilty pleasure. All right, I'm not even ashamed of that. And the second thing is you guys need to let me know what character, not you guys on the call, but the people that are watching need to let me know what character they want me to go at.
Billy Ray.
We want the redneck.
Ready. What?
We want the redneck.
I kind of like
Yeah,
the
do
redneck.
another character.
That was
Do
pretty
like
good.
Get Her Done.
If I do Billy Ray, I don't think you'll be able to tolerate me because I will have a Bud Light in my hand from 9 a.m. to the end of the night.
Do Larry the
I hear when you did
Cable Guy.
Justina.
Larry the
Some
Cable
people
Guy.
didn't like it. They were like, I loved it.
In Vegas, they didn't even want me to have alcohol up in the conference area, in the expo area. I had to sneak it in backpacks. It was ridiculous.
Brian,
I have one thing.
what's going on
I do
here?
have one thing I kind of want to add at the end though. Kind of touching base on what we said last is, you know, you got to talk about adding refurb, adding microsolder into your store. I know a lot of owners out there feel completely overwhelmed with what they need to do. Because I speak to a lot of them, because especially since we have a free version of our system, we do talk to a lot of owners who are doing less than 10 grand a month, and they feel like the world's on fire, right? They're not really sure what to do. You don't have to start with technical stuff. You can start with the simple basics. Just making sure that you have the parts in stock for what's coming in through your door. Keep track of what repairs you're seeing. Keep an eye out on inventory levels to make sure that you're not telling customers, sorry, I don't have this screen in stock. I don't have this battery in stock, this rear camera lens, this charging port. Come back another day when they're going to go to your competitors. Rear camera lenses are pure money. They're like 5 cents a pop. Buy a 10-pack, keep them in stock. But then also beyond just inventory is look at how you talk to your customers. Treat every single interaction as a sales interaction. Whether they're just calling and saying, hey, I'm just looking to see where you guys are located, XYZ, get their name, get their number, and put them into your point of sale. I'm not even talking about my point of sale. At this point, any system you have, every time they call in and ask for a quote on anything, get their name, humanize yourself, because all your competitors are going to do what you're probably doing, which is most shops. They call, how much to fix on phone? The store gives a price. They're like $99, and they just pause, and that's it. And then the customer goes, okay, thanks. I'm like, all right, and they hang up. You haven't built a rapport. Like, build rapport with your clients. Identify yourself. Get their name. Get their phone number. Plug them into your point of sale so you have a point of contact to follow up with them. Just by even at least starting there and building a script. And if you want one, I know a guy. But if you build that and structure it where you can follow up with your clients, and just that alone, you'll make more money. If you can do that, you can get at least one extra repair a day. If you make $100 on a repair, it's $3,000 in profit in a month, just by switching how you communicate with your customers.
And I'll
just start there.
I'll have 7 minutes.
Just add, can I make an appointment? Like, if you add, can I make an appointment? Not only if they say yes, you make that appointment, but if they say no, you can ask why, and then you'll get more information about why your people that are declining your repairs are declining them, and then you can adjust if you have to.
Remove your automation phone calls. If you own one location, and you're just John Doe that has an employee, and you get, thank you for calling. Da, 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 da. Please, one. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, I have a lot of clients.
I would hang up. If I was a customer, I would hang up. Number one, it's costing you extra money. Number two, give your employees something to do. We're not gas stations. We don't get 2,000 walk-ins a day. You need customer service. So remove these pointless for direction, press one, whatever. It doesn't make sense. You're just one location with 2 employees in it. So give them something to do. Make sure your employees picks up the phone and says, Selfix, how can I help you? Don't say hello. Make sure that matters. It does matter. A lot of these help them. The
Dude,
little
this conversation can go on
the
forever.
little things
Oh,
matter.
I know Tony doesn't know how to stop talking for real. Like this.
No,
we'll be
no.
here
Tony
all
has
night.
great information.
Priceless information. Priceless.
Tony
No, that
talks
I agree
gold.
with
Here we
that.
go. All right, Javi,
That
anything,
and
Brian?
Ooh, I'll leave it alone. We're gonna go too far.
We're good. We'll see you guys in Miami. Get your tickets.
Thank you guys for being on.
Yeah,
See you
guys.
Thanks,
again
guys.
next time.
Appreciate the time.
Bye.
Thank you. Have
Thanks
a
for
good
having
day.
us.
Cheers.
See you guys.